When you have a liver condition, dietary management depends on which stage you are. That's where now you can say, I'm going to manage this in a certain way. For example, if you have ascites where there's fluid buildup in your body, what you should check now is your intake of sodium. How much sodium are you taking? Because the more sodium you take, the more it will cause water retention in the body. So you have to reduce the sodium intake to less than 2000 milligrams in a day to ensure that you don't progress the ascites. Another thing is fat digestion in the body. When the liver is already impaired, your fat absorption is impaired. Why? Because there's less production of bile in the body, because bile is also produced in the liver. When the bile is produced, when you take high fat, what will happen? The fat will not be digested. So automatically, you will be reducing that fat in your stool. This is a condition called steatorrhea, whereby the fat is not digested, therefore it comes out the way it was taken in. And another thing is glucose metabolism. When the liver is affected, we should really check on how much are we taking from our diet, especially the carbohydrates. When we take too much carbohydrates and the liver is the one that is supposed to store the glucose, there will be excess of the glucose that is not going anywhere, to just be in the body. When there's that shift in glucose not being utilized, you'll find somebody might have low blood sugar because it's not entering into the portal circulation, or high blood sugar because you're taking in the sugars but they're not being stored by the liver. Another condition is whereby you have buildup of ammonia in the body, which is as a result of the protein intake. We have to regulate how much protein you are taking, especially from the animal proteins compared to the plant proteins, because the more you take from these proteins, the more they cause the buildup of ammonia. The liver normally converts the ammonia into urea, then it is excreted out of the body. But when it's not functioning well, what will happen now? There will be buildup of these toxins in the body, and the more they build up, the more stressed your body becomes, the more the kidney is also pressured to release these toxins. So you should be really careful on how much protein you're going to take. For alcohol intake, alcohol medications are usually detoxified by the liver. So the more you take from the alcohol, what happens? The liver is not able to detoxify as it usually does. This buildup of the toxins, I'll encourage people to reduce the alcohol intake, and if it is possible, to totally avoid the alcohol.